Many of us strive to get in shape, and there are many opportunities to get fit. But if you or a family member has a physical or even an intellectual disability, those opportunities are extremely limited. Not anymore. An innovative adaptive fitness program in Largo fulfills that need. Me and You Fitness Academy, today on Bayside. Good morning and welcome to Bayside. I'm your host, Shelly Sanders. We're talking all about Me and You Fitness Academy. Well, what is it? Well, I've got somebody here to tell you all about it. I know I alluded to it in the open a little bit, but we are talking about adaptive fitness to an adaptive fitness coach, physical therapist assistant, and founder of Me and You Fitness, Miss Tina Tallman. Welcome to Bayside.
Hi.
It's very nice to have you here.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Yes, I love what you're doing here, Me and You Fitness Academy. I know I talked a little bit about it in the open, but from your perspective, talk to me about from day one, like what made you decide this is something that needs to happen? How long has it been around and what are you seeing? What are you doing?
Well, I'm a physical therapist assistant and I've been doing special needs fitness and physical therapy for the past many years. And about 3 years ago, I realized that there was a lack of access for fitness and physical therapy for our intellectual and physical disability clients in our community. So I decided that I wanted to do something about it. So I created Me and You Fitness Academy. I partnered with a physical therapy clinic in Largo called Physical Therapy and Balance Center. My girlfriend is the owner of the clinic and she's a PT as well. And we realized that as these guys age out of the system and become adults, that there's really not a lot for them, whether it's fitness-wise, social-wise. So I decided to do this program and it's been going for 3 years and it's growing and it's changing lives.
Wow, I can only imagine. I can't wait to hear some of the stories. But let's back up just a little bit. Now, you mentioned that when they age out. So who's your target audience?
My target audience is pretty much everybody who's 22 and up. Mm-hmm. Once they usually get through high school, about age 22 is when they graduate. They have some options to do some day training programs, stay at home. Depends on what their families want for them to be able to do. So, but I really knew that they weren't really getting physical therapy anymore. And so I wanted to change that. Sure. Most of our adults, whether they have physical disabilities or intellectual disabilities, have an obesity problem. They are limited in their access of being able to be independent, perhaps not ever being able to live on their own, and they're lacking in social skills and social opportunities. So the beauty of my program is in my group fitness classes, we have the ability for them to have all of that.
Sure. Now we're looking at some stills that you brought with you. These are some examples of what goes on, and
yes.
Can you talk to me a little bit about what we're looking at?
Well, that is Andrew, and he came to me for fitness as well, a young man who is engaged to be married. He's been with his girlfriend for the past 7 years and he wants to walk her down the aisle. Oh. So Andy's inspiration is to come work out with me. We do one-on-one as well as he comes to my group fitness classes. And so we've been working on standing
right there.
And working on getting him prepared to be able to walk down the aisle one day with his girlfriend.
Oh, gives me goosebumps. Thank goodness you're here, Tina. My goodness. So a lot of I have a brother who's disabled, so I understand the needs, and what ends up happening a lot of times is that they don't get that exercise, and so it's so important to maintain strength. especially if you're just physically disabled
Right.
and you're wanting to rehab to a certain extent. That's almost impossible if you couldn't do it on your own, or you can't have, or you don't have any assistance to do that. Is this where you step up into play as well?
Absolutely, yes. And so being in the physical therapy field, I'm also able to be more than just a trainer. So we can do lots of functional things that they need within their home, to be more independent. And a lot of people have come to me. They've had personal trainers and regular gyms, but they can't get around in the gyms, especially if they're in a wheelchair. The other big problem that happens is some of these trainers don't understand their disabilities. They don't understand what's happening within their bodies. And if you don't train them appropriately for what their bodies are capable of doing, they have a huge risk of injuries. Sure. I had a girl that came to me that had been being seen. The trainer did not understand her physical disabilities and was causing her to have tremendous pain. And now, because of my background, she's flourishing within my program.
Love that. So where do you, so obviously you've seen results.
Yes.
Talk to me about the last 3 years. What kind of results have you seen, and what kind of eyebrows have been peaked now? I mean, I gotta think that there are people that are watching. I'm familiar with physical therapy, the clinic.
Yes.
And they're all over the place.
They are.
So I gotta think that this is causing a light bulb to go off in some people's minds, and really all eyes on you, no pressure. But talk to me about these results that you've seen over the last 3 years, and where do you see yourself or Me and You Fitness Academy going and expanding from here?
Well, I've seen a tremendous amount of results with all of my clients. One of my biggest success is one of my girls that came to me. She had been in a car accident, and prior to that, she had been independently walking, and through the car accident caused her to have some PTSD, which caused her to go into depression. So she had not been physically doing anything for several years. So when she inadvertently started my program, she's been with me. We work out 5 times a week, and she is now lost 2 dress sizes. She is now socially getting out and doing all kinds of things. My program has kind of created a social network for them as well. And she is now ambulating with me during her physical therapy. So her goal was to be able to ambulate again, to be able to get in and out of her bed independently, do some personal task on her own. And I would say that she's probably 75% there in the past 2 years.
Fantastic. Now explain ambulating really quickly for some
Ambulating is walking.
Walking.
So she was able to walk prior to the accident, and then she did not walk for probably about 3 years.
Wow. So we're getting her back there.
Absolutely.
Good things are happening over there. I love that.
Yes.
So talk to me about these mismatched socks you have on.
Well, these began with before I even was creating Me and You Fitness Academy, and I had a little girl that I was doing physical therapy with, and one day I was taking her shoes off, and I discovered that she had on these mismatched socks, and I was like, Leah, you know you went to school today without your socks matching. And she very simply looked at me and said, I know, they're very fun. So this was me who, like most of us, wears matching socks. I always wore white socks with my tennis shoes, and found it to be kind of a difficult thing for me to think about going out into public with mismatched socks on. So I thought about it, and I thought about how happy it made her. And so at the time, Frozen was very big. So I went out one weekend and bought 2 pairs of Frozen socks. And the next time I came back to see her, I had 2 mismatched Frozen socks on. And it just made her so unbelievably happy and gave me a new connection with her.
Love it. So in turn, it makes people happy.
Absolutely.
Right? And it gets
Yes.
people talking about you.
Yes.
I love that. Okay. I know, speaking of talking about you and wanting to know more, well, that's how you're going to do it. That website you're looking at right there. It's meandyoufitnessacademy.com. And I'm saying and because you're going to spell that out. meandyoufitnessacademy.com. Log on, check it out. You'll see all the information that we're talking about and then some. You can also go to ours, cw44.com. Don't go anywhere. We're coming back after this. Welcome back to Bayside. I'm your host, Shelly Sanders. I've been talking with Miss Tina Tallman all about her Me and You Fitness Academy there in Largo. And I know you guys are thinking, if you're out of range of Largo, maybe you're somewhere else in the Bay Area, you're thinking, my gosh, this needs to happen here. Maybe you're in Sarasota or Venice or somewhere over in Polk County. I mean, you never know. I know that's big sites, and you're still in your toddler stages, I would say. You're three years in the making. I'm sure there are people out there that are thinking, hey, you got to keep this going and continue this trend. And so I wish you best of luck in that regard.
Thank you.
You never know.
Thank you.
Things can happen where there's a need, right?
Absolutely.
So we were talking about the mismatched socks. It's become almost like your trademark now. Everybody loves Tina's happy socks, mismatched socks, and all came from little Miss Leah. So there are so many things that I want to talk to you about. It's absolutely incredible what you guys do, and I'm positive that everyone that participates, even those that come to you, maybe you watch a transformation, not just from a physical standpoint, but almost from a mental standpoint as well. Just what ends up happening from an emotional place for these people, correct?
Yes.
Can you, any stories come to mind or anything that you want to elaborate on that?
Yeah, I have a young woman who was very lonely, as is, a lot of these guys come to me, they've been depressed. They haven't really had a lot of socialization once they age out of the system and now they become adults. Unless they go maybe to an adult day training program, then they may have more access to a lot of socialization. But if they're home, there's not a whole lot. There are things, it is changing. There's lots of different opportunities for them out there now for doing all those things. But I have a particular young woman who has kind of made me into her mentor. And so something that I did not anticipate on when I began my fitness program was the social aspect of their lives as well. So I'm finding myself mentoring them in lots of different things, whether it's life skills, job skills, love.
Just
Got
communication
some, and
even.
communication, learning how to be friends. They don't always learn, or with their intellectual disabilities aren't always capable of being able to be friends. So now this particular young woman is thriving. Her family is very happy for her.
Love that.
And it gives me an opportunity to do something different than what I had anticipated on as well.
Sure. I mean, let's face it, at the end of the day, ultimately, we're all human and we're supposed to be around other humans, right? So let's talk about this wheelchair motocross. I love this idea. Tell me about it.
Well, the wheelchair motocross is a combination of BMX riding and skateboarding in a wheelchair.
Wow. Skateboarding in a wheelchair. If that didn't stop you at home, I don't know what will. Talk about this. This is amazing. And do your clients sometimes, those that have never heard of it, now that they're doing it, are like, what? Mind blown. Look at this.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Tell
It's
me
very
about it.
exciting. So I met a gentleman in the beginning of my journey 3 years ago named Tony. And I was invited to go to a spina bifida event with him, or not with him, but to go with him, and that's where I met him.
Gotcha.
So he was doing these tricks in this wheelchair, and he fell over. And nobody jumped up, nobody went to assist him, and me as a therapist was panicking because I'm like, can this guy get back up in his chair? I had no idea what he was doing. So then they explained to me that this is what he does, and he does wheelchair motocross. So of course, I went immediately home and I Googled him and I Googled the sport and I fell in love. So now I've incorporated the wheelchair motocross into my program as well, because everyday life means, in a wheelchair, means they have to be able to negotiate. They have to be able to negotiate curbs. Sometimes they find themselves having to go up and down 3 steps. And if they're not capable of doing that or never were taught that, then that's very challenging for them.
Sure.
So by bringing it into a sport, making it fun, then it makes them more willing to try to learn how to go up those curbs and learn how to go up those, and they don't become so scary.
Sure.
So, and Tony's been a very great mentor to my wheelchair clients. I have one who, he's trying so hard to pop a wheelie in his chair. but he's a little overweight. So his group home thankfully is working with him to help him to lose a little bit of weight, but his skills in the wheelchair have increased so much. It's just been so fun to watch.
Love that.
So
For you at home, if you're wanting to Google it, you can always Google, what is it, WCMX,
Yes,
right? For
yes.
Wheelchair, motocross, I love that.
Yes.
Turning it into a sport. So it seems apropos that you would be on the board for the ASF, the Action Sports Foundation.
Yes.
Talk to me about that. What is it?
Well, we are a nonprofit organization. We're just in the beginning stages of getting everything situated and created and coming up with our final mission. We hosted the first ever wheelchair motocross event in Florida. So we do have a Florida wheelchair motocross team, and we're trying to grow the sport as well as the whole United States. And we hosted an event in February at the St. Pete Skate Park. Tony was a part of the creation of the skate park. It's completely wheelchair accessible. And so we hosted this event in February. It was a huge success. We had wheelchair competitors from all over the United States that came to participate with us. And now we just got the approval from St. Pete Skate Park, and we're ready to start the planning stages for February of 2020.
Oh, fantastic. Well, congratulations on
Thanks.
that, and good luck with that.
Thank you.
So that will all culminate sometime in February then.
Yes.
And for those individuals that maybe this is the first time they're hearing about it, that are interested in maybe participating or volunteering, do you have opportunities there?
Absolutely, yes. We're looking
Okay.
for tons of for volunteers to come and help us with
Okay.
our event.
Sure. So where do you go for that? Well, you're looking at it right there. You are looking at their website. That's meandyoufitnessacademy.com. Don't forget to spell out the word and, me, A-N-D, you, fitnessacademy.com. That's the website. You're going to go check it out while we go to break. We'll be back. Welcome back to Bayside. I'm your host, Shelly Sanders. We've been talking all about Me and You Fitness Academy. It really is an adaptive fitness program. They're in Largo doing big things for individuals with disabilities, both physical and mental. So many things to talk about. We were talking about the wheelchair motocross. I love that. You've got the big rodeo coming up on October 12th. You've got big things happening in February. You have big things going on in the clinic itself. Talk to us about that.
Well, it's been a beautiful thing in our clinic. We have physical therapy in there. So now with the addition of the special needs program, it has allowed me to be able to become a bigger advocate for my special needs clients. And every day I'm given the opportunity to be able to speak to our clients about my clients. They know my clients by name, they're watching their progress, they're commenting to me how beautiful it is and how they see such changes happening for my clients. And now, like I said, it gives me the opportunity to be able to advocate for them, to be able to talk about different disabilities, talk about people that are nonverbal, which is a huge another piece of the puzzle that they have a lot to say.
And where are you advocating for them?
Right in my clinic. And I'm in the community. I'm on Facebook. I advocate for everybody on Facebook as well. So,
And right here.
and now today here, yes.
For sure.
So.
If there is one thing out there that you would like to leave our viewers with, or them to turn the television off after the show today and walk away and go, hey, what is that thought, or what is that elevator speech, if you will, about your clients?
They are amazing, and I think that everybody should take the opportunity to participate, volunteer, bring more inclusion to the lives of our special needs community.
Sure. That is so important. And so speaking of volunteers, well, it's that time for me to tell you, I tell you every week, get out and get involved in your community. I think this would be a beautiful way to be relevant, and I think you'd get more out of it than you think if you went and volunteered. And that's the website right there, meandyoufitnessacademy.com, meandyoufitnessacademy.com. If you've got the will, I'm sure Tina will find a way for you to fit you in somewhere, if it's at the clinic or maybe at one of the events coming up. Anyway, she sees fit, you see fit. If it works out, perfect. meandyoufitnessacademy.com. We'll be back after this. I want to thank you at home for joining us this week on Bayside. And of course, Tina, thank you for being here and enlightening us.
Thank you for having me.
Doing big things up there in Largo, and I hope that continues, and then word spreads, and so does the clinic. I know you at home are wanting more information on Me and You Fitness Academy. You can do that by logging onto their website, spell it out, meandyoufitnessacademy.com. meandyoufitnessacademy.com. That's the website you go to check out, get all the information that Tina and I talked about today. Also learn how you can volunteer or find out when these events are and just go check them out. All right, I'm your host, Shelly Sanders. We'll see you next week.